Welcome to the Future World Academy by detailed breakdown of Donald Trump's global tariffs, known as the Liberation Day tariffs, and their real-world effects. Key tariff rollouts and timelines. April 2, 2025. Trump declared a national emergency and announced sweeping reciprocal tariffs across many nations. A 10% baseline tariff on all U.S. imports took effect on April 5. Countries like the UK, Brazil, and others faced only this base rate. More targeted tariffs, from 20% to 50% plus, applied to selected countries starting April 9. April 2025 adjustments. Some exemptions were granted under USMCA, reducing the impact on Canada and Mexico. Summer 2025, additional high tariffs were announced, for example, on India, raised to 50%, and threats of 100% tariffs on chips and semiconductors unless produced in the U.S. Economic impacts. 1. Global growth and recession risks. Economists warn these tariffs could hamper global trade and trigger a recession. Forecasts include a 2% jump in U.S. consumer inflation, CPI, slower growth, and job losses. 2. Long-term U.S. damage. Penn Wharton estimates these tariffs could reduce U.S. GDP by approximately 6% and wages by approximately 5%. A typical household could face a $22,000 lifetime loss, twice the impact of a corporate tax hike. 3. Sectoral and regional disruptions. Key industries like autos, housing, tech components, and pharmaceuticals bear the brunt due to reliance on global inputs. For instance, Mexico's GDP could fall by 16% under 25% auto tariffs. The U.S. housing market faces higher construction prices, especially as tariffs on Canadian lumber rise to 35%, translating to $9,200 more per home. 4. Supply chain and inflation pressures. Consumers are facing higher prices on everyday items. The average U.S. import duty has risen to approximately 18 to 22%, pushing inflation upward and potentially triggering stagflation. 5. Retaliation and geopolitical shift. Countries like China, India, South Korea, and EU members are retaliating, further straining trade. China, for example, threatened counter tariffs and strategic export restrictions. Global investment strategies are shifting. Firms may redirect production away from U.S. tariff-hit regions. 6. Broader economic analysis. BCG notes that business leaders are facing deep uncertainty, with markets reacting sharply and executives having to build adaptive strategies. Think tanks like PIIE highlight that outcomes vary but generally point to reduced global output, more inflation, and heavy damage to U.S. manufacturing and agriculture, especially under retaliation scenarios. Summary. Why it matters globally. These tariffs are reshaping global trade, tilting economic activity, supply chains, and investment strategies. While they might generate revenue and signal U.S. economic assertiveness, they bring complex costs, impact area. Affect U.S. households. Less disposable income, reduced long-term living standards. Global trade. Disrupted supply chains, rising protectionism. Industries. Higher production costs, forced strategic shifts. Global economy. Increased recession risk, inflation, reduced growth. Geopolitics. Escalating trade tensions, realignments in international partnerships. If you new on my channel, please like, share and subscribe.